evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the fun show here at Big TV. If Mike can figure out how to turn on his keyboard,
I think we're unplugged.
we're going to have a little silent music here. Actually,
I wonder if we're going out.
we are unplugged. You know how MTV used to have unplugged?
Oh yeah, we're doing it unplugged.
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 This is the fun show unplugged tonight.
Right, okay.
Very good. It leaves us time to
Okay.
discuss more topics on the agenda. I was complaining to Michael earlier that I got my form to renew my Harvard football season tickets,
And they're cheating. They're cheating on
and
you.
someone has gone insane at the Harvard athletic office. They've tripled the price of tickets, and they don't have any good teams on the schedule.
Maybe they're going to serve free hot dogs.
Free hot dogs? I'm sorry. I'd rather buy my hot dogs than pay what I used to pay for my tickets.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I'm considering sending them a letter saying, this is what it's worth to me. Take it or leave it.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I bet they'll take it. They'll take it.
You think Donald Sterling will come to any of the games?
Well, he hasn't been banned from Ivy League football yet that I know of.
You know Donald
I do
Sterling,
know
that
who he
sweet
is.
guy
Yes.
who loves everybody.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's now apparently suing everybody that he can think of.
Yeah,
Why?
it won't help. He got a contract and he signed it, which says what they can do.
Right. And his contract, the fine print that he didn't bother to read says, I agree to be subject to your processes.
Right.
So that he really doesn't have a basis to sue.
What did he have to pick on Magic Johnson for? What did Magic
He
had
made a
nothing to
bad
do with
choice.
any of it?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Because he's not very smart.
He isn't
Let's
very
come right
smart.
down to it. I still say the better punishment, and I forget if I said this last week or not, but the better punishment is not to make him sell his team, but just to remove his team from the league. And then his team isn't worth anything. He doesn't get the 30 or 40 or 50 million dollars.
You're going to get a lot more than that. You know, he bought it for $12 million. So it's
But if they say no, we don't care if you sell your team. You just can't play NBA games.
Oh, okay.
And then he'd still have the contracts to pay all the players, but he'd have to play in the YMCA league.
Let's
or
say this.
something like that.
Let's look forward to down the road, and this is in the courts and everything else.
Yes.
And this guy's still around. They haven't been able to dump him yet.
Okay.
It's just theoretical.
Hypothetical.
Yes.
Okay.
Hypothetical. Your guys that you're working with, they might have something to say about this.
My guys.
Yeah.
He means all attorneys are my guys.
That's right.
Okay.
You're
all
stuck
right.
with them.
Got them all.
You're stuck
They're
with
all
them.
mine.
Oh, okay. And there he is. He's still there.
That would make you very rich.
I think it would.
Yeah.
That's some serious influence and power.
He's-
Anyway.
Would the players say we're not going to play if he's still around the next season?
They've hinted that
They
they
would almost have to. They would
No,
have
they've
to.
hinted that they would.
They would have to stand by their.
That's big. You
Convictions.
think they'd give up those big paydays, those guys?
They've hinted that they would. So
Well, I hope they do.
We'll see.
We'll see. Jeez.
Anyway.
Yeah, what's with the FBI agents? The Globe had a great big long full-page story. Did you read that thing about that FBI agent who was interviewing one of Sania's friends down there in Florida?
No.
You mean the one who shot him during
The
during
agent.
a
during
questioning?
An interrogation. The guy, this Russian guy, came at him with a bread knife or something. How the hell can I have a? Oh, he
No,
threw
it
a table.
wasn't a knife.
Oh, a
It
stick,
was
a long
piece,
stick with
piece
a
of
table.
piece
my
of
goodness.
trim from the room or
But
something.
he shot him 4 or 5 times.
But I never heard of anybody being shot in the interrogation room.
I never did
Talk
either.
about tough questioning.
But then
I
it
think
turned,
I'd rather
It
be
doesn't make any
waterboarded.
sense.
but then it turns out that this
I don't know about
agent,
that.
who did this, had a little stormy record as an Oakland, California police officer, 2 brutality suits, and 4 internal investigations.
You're saying he had a short fuse? Is that what you're saying?
Well, his name is, and they were able to figure out what his name was. It wasn't supposed to be when they got
It's
this
supposed
information.
to be redacted.
Yes, but they were able to lift the redaction.
Wow.
And it turns out to be Aaron McFarlane, 41. But that's a...
Which is of no significance to me, having never met him.
but evidently a really tough...
Any relation to Aaron Hernandez?
I don't.
Probably.
There's a guy I don't want to be related to. While we're on the subject,
Well, talk about people in the legal system or people not doing their jobs. How about your friend, Steve Crosby?
my friend.
Your friend.
Oh, I used to be
The
his
guy
friend.
you keep saying, "Where's my casino?
Where is my
Where's
casino?
my casino?"
Yeah.
Here's a guy who's getting paid a lot of money.
You said
A
it.
very important appointment. He was supposed to be the one to make sure that this was all done in a Massachusetts frame of mind.
No funny stuff.
And now he's recused himself from any decision on any Eastern casino. In other words, he said, "I can't do my job.
Right, but I want my salary.
But I want to keep being in charge, and I want my money."
yeah,
Makes
okay.
sense.
Well, the
I
governor
mean,
doesn't
in a long
mind.
history
the
of
governor picked him. Yeah.
in a long history of pitiful appointments by our governor Mini-Me, this has got to be close to one of the worst. It's either this or the Department of Families and Children. Which one's worse?
If he runs for president, that's worse. All right.
Which one?
Mini-Me.
Okay.
The governor.
Trying to keep up with this, guys.
Devil. I mean,
Mini-Me.
Deval.
Devil.
I used to say at the beginning. Yeah, I used to say Devil. Okay.
Governor Pat.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, we had this.
I refer to him as Mini-Me. That's my.
I did know that, but I
That's-
wasn't
that's-
sure if we were still
that's-
talking about Mr. Crowley.
That's my. Well, Mr. Crowley was Mini-Me's appointee.
I understood that, but when
Yeah.
you said him for president, I assumed
Oh, no,
you meant
he's talking about
Duvall, but then I wasn't sure.
Duvall said he's not running in 2016, but he might consider it after that.
Okay, well, he can't interfere with Hillary's run, and I'm going to be mad at anybody who
He
does.
He doesn't want to get beat.
Elizabeth Warren is making a lot of visits around the country, and she's really proving that she's got some stuff there at the bottom.
her.
Elizabeth Warren has, for whatever reasons, for a basically freshman senator, although she's not, thanks to Mr. Kerry, she's now a senior senator, but she's still basically a rookie senator. She has gotten quite a bit of national attention. She has quite a bit of national standing. She's certainly rates in the top 30, if not the top 20.
She's the one who put together that Consumers Bureau.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. She's a real person.
Yeah.
I always really appreciated
Yeah,
her.
they
I
don't
was
like
really
it.
glad
They don't
when
like.
she-
They don't like that either. Okay, well,
But they need that.
Well,
That's
she-
what they need.
she's doing all right. She's going to save for the GIs and for the students $100 million. This paper said. This article said.
How?
The interest on the loans that they have made from all these banks.
Student loans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the GIs too.
One of the things that upsets me is all this hubbub about the VA now at this thing. All of a sudden, they're acting like this is something that happened in the last 3 weeks, and like it's totally new. When during the previous two administrations, all they did was slash, burn, close, cancel VA hospitals, VA staff, VA insurance. For 12 years, they did nothing but slash. And now they're acting like, oh, my goodness, people aren't getting the treatment they need.
Yeah, this hearing I was listening to on, he said General Shinseki, who's a 4-star general who served in Vietnam honorably and won a Purple Heart there and all the rest of it. He's a good man. He's an honest man, and I trust him. He says what you say. He said in the last 3 years, we've laid off at least 3,000 each year employees of the VA.
And that's less than what Bush did.
That's right.
That's less. That's on top of the fact that the Bush administration slashed the VA every year.
Right.
They closed at least one VA hospital in every state in the United States.
I can
Wow.
I can only tell you that I think that the treatment of, according to the vets that I meet in Jamaica Plain and West Roxbury, is much better, according to what I'm hearing from these other parts of the country out west. They really take care of the guys, and they have an emergency clinic like an ER.
Isn't that ironic? We take care of vets in blue states and they screw them in red states.
That's
Well,
what
in
it
the
is,
red,
right?
yeah, in the
That's
red
the
states they don't
problem.
want anybody working there. I don't know. I don't
That's
understand.
bad.
I don't understand. Yes, I do. It's just what he said.
Yep, that's exactly what it
It's
is.
terrible.
They're
And
the ones who want to send them to war, but they don't want to take care of
No.
them.
they don't want to
when
take
they
care
come
of
back.
it.
That's it in a nutshell, right
For
there.
instance, all these advertisements for the Wounded Warrior Project also drive me crazy. Why should taking care of wounded veterans be a charity?
Yeah.
Isn't that the responsibility of the government that sent them in harm's way?
Agreed.
I agree.
Absolutely agreed.
I mean, being asked to donate to a charity to see to the basic needs of wounded veterans is an abomination.
Right.
Amen.
Well, gee, that was a happy note.
I
Well,
can
they-
see
well,
the
the vets-
fire in your eyes.
Wait a second. This is the fun show.
We're all going to have to pay for coffee more next year, according to what I'm reading in the paper.
You know, it makes me happy I never learned to like coffee.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in trouble.
He has tea. He always
What
has.
is it? Some fungus, right?
It's a fungus.
There's a fungus
Okay.
among us.
It's a fungus among us. That's very good.
I didn't actually read it. There's a fungus that is killing off coffee. There's
country?
also
Is it
something that's
every
killing
country?
off bananas.
Yeah.
Is it which country? Is it
I'm-
every
I'm-
country?
I'm
is
not
this
sure.
a fungus?
I don't know. I
that's-
know
Or is it like the potato famine? It's
There's
Exactly.
one
Is it just in
supermarket I
one
go to,
area?
and the price of bananas is half.
half.
Half. Half.
Oh,
Half.
Okay. Well, anyway, do you like bananas?
I do like
You
bananas.
say tomato and I say tomato. You say potato and I say potato.
Darn it.
We're not getting. We could have
No
played
music.
that.
No,
Yeah.
we're actually not plugged in. That's
No,
the
I
whole
don't. We're
thing.
not
Okay.
plugged in.
We have no power cord.
That's all right.
That's right. We're
You
not
know, the
plugged.
funny
No
thing
plugged
is,
in.
we commented there were fewer chords than usual,
Yes,
right?
we did. We just didn't follow through on it. That's our
There
problem.
was a day that you could play a piano without electricity,
That's
but
true.
that seems to be gone these days.
And-
not an
Republican,
electronic keyboard anyway.
strategist Karl Rove says that Hillary, who fell down some months back, if you remember when she was still a Secretary of State, he said she had a serious concussion from this thing on her,
Well,
her
Bill
head.
said it took 6 months to get over it. No, he did.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's
What's
serious.
your point?
The point was that she couldn't come to this Congressman Ice's hearing.
Oh, on Benghazi. Talk about garbage.
It's coming back.
Talk about
Oh my
garbage.
goodness.
Okay. All right.
Let's talk about nonsense instead of doing our jobs.
Yes. Standard.
Is there anybody in Congress who deserves to be paid?
Okay.
Elizabeth Warren.
Jackie Kennedy. Do you want to talk about Jackie Kennedy?
What about her?
Well,
you mean
she-
Jackie Kennedy Onassis?
Yeah, she had a secret correspondence with this Irish priest. And she reveals her doubts and anguish over the president's assassinations and later on his other proclivities I won't get into.
Why is the poor woman not entitled to a private
Exactly.
conversation with a priest?
She's fine, but now
But now they
Why is
want to
it- why
spread
are
it
they
around.
revealing it?
now they want to sell they are selling the letters. Hallowell College and
How is her family allowing that?
Who's selling
ridiculous.
it? Is it the Kennedys or is it somebody who stole
the
them?
college where this priest worked. He's dead, and they have his letters.
You know, he's probably glad he's
That's
dead.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
ridiculous.
they paid a
No,
lot.
that's
No one knows
terrible.
the price, but it's
Well, I didn't.
All
read
Hallows
those
College
things.
in Dublin. Okay. Well, I don't like this.
Well, when
story.
I'm over there later this year, I'm going to stop by and tell them what I think of them.
I think you should.
And then there's Boko Haram, and they still, that's at the Nigerian radical Islamic crowd. They kidnapped all those young women.
Have
Yeah.
they found him yet? What's going on
No,
with that?
they haven't found them.
Theoretically, Al Qaeda
Okay.
related, apparently
yeah.
Al Qaeda related, or
I think they're
just
dumber than
claims
Al
to be.
Qaeda.
Well, so far they seem to be able to disappear fairly well.
Yeah, well,
they
but
broke
the
'em into a bunch of
Nigerian
small
army
groups.
is unable to deal with them, so that's something. What are you? I don't know what you want.
ridiculous, the whole thing.
Well-
It is ridiculous. Well, we got. What else have we got? We got
Nigeria-
time.
Every
the
current
Ni-
event
the
has
Ni-
been ridiculous.
The Nigerian,
We have to do
the
our play.
Nigerian army has never been much good for much of anything, frankly. But,
Amen.
Okay. All
but,
right.
but that's all right.
Okay.
We have a really long play.
Even though, as I recall, it is the most populous nation in Africa.
It is.
So, should have a little bit of a better. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Big TV Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation for this evening in a somewhat more dramatic vein than some of the others. This comes from the reserve section of the vault, the drama section.
I think they're what, 10
of
pages?
the
10
vault.
pages.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Action.
Wait a second.
It's the name of
It
this.
has a title,
There's a title.
Lunch with Dad.
Lunch
Yes.
with Dad. And then
Dad,
Dad
son, Gina, our waitress.
Waitress.
takes place in this little restaurant.
In the old days, when we first did this, we actually were able to get up and move around. We had wireless mics. We were able to make entrances and exits. So
Those are
when-
modern times. Did you know that?
Right.
Yeah.
So we ask you to cooperate with us by simply going along with the pretense that if Gina isn't speaking, she isn't here.
That's right. I'm in the kitchen.
And Dad is George is the name for Dad in the script. Okay. Ready?
All
Action.
right, let's have a drink, Dad.
What's the celebration?
Just for a change.
That stuff will kill you.
Ready to order?
I'll have a bourbon Manhattan, straight up, cherry and ice on the side.
How come?
Well, for a change.
Bloody Mary, please.
What happened to the vodka martini?
Drinks first or
I'll have the usual, dear.
fried scallops, fries, and coleslaw.
Try something lighter for once, Dad.
You're the one with heart trouble.
A nice salad with oil and vinegar?
Just like your mother, George.
Is that what you'd like, sir?
The kid loves fresh grass.
Yes, please.
Well,
Be right back.
I like Gina.
Now it's Gina.
She's friendly.
Come on, Dad.
We might take her to a movie sometime.
That's enough, Dad.
That's I'm not dead yet.
And Ma's memory?
She's been dead a while, Ma.
It's only 10 years.
Well, she's harmless company now, George, and I'm still alive.
Look, I miss Ma.
So do I, but you go home to your wife.
You could have moved in with us.
Hope you like them, guys.
Great service, Gina. Great. I like this drink. It's perfect.
My father, the expert connoisseur.
Your dad is tops.
Fred likes to come here, too.
Fred?
Fred?
He's another regular.
What is this, a club?
Fred is a retired spy.
Anita was an urban gorilla.
He had a disability. Got to demonstrate.
Sounds like more fun than a senior citizen center.
Anita sabotaged it.
She's an internet explosives expert.
Nice drink, Gina.
Wilfred makes them.
He's the cleaning man, doubles as a bartender.
So you're happy, Dad?
Except for the poker game.
Never lose much.
Takes
Yeah,
the bus once a week to the casino in Connecticut.
Oh,
You didn't used to gamble, Dad.
Fred and Anita, they go too.
Every Wednesday, free buffet for seniors.
Who has the time?
And they get mesmerized by the slots.
Sometimes there's a wrestling match about or whatever you want to call it.
Very cultural, Dad.
Better than sitting home, I'll be getting your lunch.
What about Gilbert and Sullivan?
Yeah, but the craps is more exciting.
Then I assume your nest egg is dwindling?
Well, I moved it to a higher risk tech fund that has bigger payout.
Great, as long as you're winning.
Well, that's why I have a son, George.
So now I'm the lifeguard?
My job when you're growing up was just like that kid.
A conductor on the city streetcar lines.
And a very good one, if I do say so.
40 years in the same job.
Steady work.
And Ma, working all those odd jobs.
She did help a bit.
And my college money?
I thought you'd win a scholarship.
How did she manage to save all that money?
How did she manage? That's the question. I pull out this paper now out of my vest pocket here, and we're in this restaurant, and I stand up and I read a poem entitled From the Window of My Bus. The world flows by on Central Ave, crowded sidewalks, sirens screaming, joggers dodging traffic, a young girl in a wheelchair. The homeless guy holds out his cup. A woman sweeps her bit of sidewalk. I stop my bus. People push out the door. We're all part of the human stream that starts and stops. Hope you all liked it. Well, what do you think?
You still do this stuff?
Well, it's my life. It's my life, kid.
But reading your poem in a diner?
Sure, now it's routine everywhere.
I remember the first time you did it in that Chinese restaurant.
A very appreciative audience, as I remember.
But they didn't speak English, Dad.
Sent over a plate of gumquats on the house.
Big deal.
For you, art is for the knowing few.
We all loved it, George.
Well, Mr. Critic, go ahead.
Splendid, Dad, splendid.
For 25 years, the Commons Monthly published his father's poems, and that's the response.
I've heard better.
We all like what you write, George.
But I didn't go to college, is that it?
Let's eat. You know you don't like cold scallops, Dad.
You know how to hurt a guy.
Next time, maybe a poem about fried scallops.
A wise guy, huh?
At least the coleslaw isn't fried.
You're not spoiling my appetite, Doctor.
I'll leave you guys to it. Enjoy.
You never ask about my children or my wife.
If anything was wrong, you'd tell me, George.
Aren't you a little bit concerned?
I can't eat and think.
But I have to sit through that exhibition.
Listening to your father's poems?
And what if I told you it was humiliating?
Swell. Happy you told me. Again.
Why do you keep doing it?
A poet wants to share his words with others.
Give it up, Dad.
Because you keep getting rejection slips on your novel, huh?
I take you to lunch and this is the thanks I get?
Well, thanks, George. Eat your salad.
I'm a good teacher.
Yeah, you say, and a lousy novelist.
You just can't leave it alone.
Do I make excuses for my poetry?
This argument is crazy.
I'm taking notes.
I took you to that gourmet French restaurant uptown.
So I made fun of the snails.
Food is a serious matter there.
How should I know that the ratatouille is stewed vegetables?
Oh, that didn't bother me.
When I got up and started reading my poem about a day in the park?
They asked you to stop politely.
That's true.
You ignored the waiter's pleas.
Well, I was almost finished.
The manager said it was disturbing the guests.
So I asked the customers, didn't I?
And they told the staff that we had to leave or they'd call the cops.
Yes, and I didn't finish the poem or the baked scallops.
And we can never go back.
Some loss.
Constance and I used to go there with our friends.
Gina serves terrific pasta, and they yelled for more after I read.
Okay.
You should have got the deluxe burger here with the salad. You know that.
Perhaps. Look, Dad, we were thinking about taking the kids to Disneyland.
Thanks, but no thanks, George. I don't travel anymore.
You've been to Europe. You've been to Asia.
Well, it was fun with your mother, George.
With you along, the kids would just...
I know, George. The truth is, I couldn't keep up with them.
You're too negative, Dad.
That's because I'm old. I tire easily, and I admit it.
Look, we'll go during the Christmas vacation.
Will there be room for my 2 hernias and leaky prostate?
What is we're eating?
I love the kids, George.
Don't say no now. You can cancel later.
A publisher is interested in my poems.
Oh, then it isn't just the aches and pains.
I wanted to surprise you all.
Another of your exaggerations, I suspect.
Now, don't get nasty, son.
Well, you do tell some buttes, Dad.
Yeah, but this is real.
So my dad's going to be famous?
Oh, I'm still not dead yet, George.
Every bar in town will want you to give a special reading.
That's possible. I do have a lot of friends.
Are you serious, Dad? Come on.
Isn't it marvelous? Our own poet in print.
You told everybody?
Could I ever keep a secret?
We're all so excited for your father.
I got it. This is all a gag at my expense.
Well, maybe now you'll believe me.
Incredible.
Well, it's not bad for the old streetcar conductor.
But how could this be?
One day, your father got up and read a poem in here.
And that guy, the assistant editor, was having a meal.
He loves our meatloaf luncheon.
And the rest is history, kid.
I can't accept it. Why?
Because I got recognition, George.
Okay. You've written some nice lines.
He's our favorite poet.
The only poet they ever listened to.
By God, Dad, you did it.
Just tell me you're a little proud of the old man.
It's so wonderful.
You'll give me a kiss later.
But what if they made a mistake? What if they changed their minds, Dad?
Kills you, doesn't it, George?
It's so sudden. It's overwhelming.
You can't say it, can you? Nothing's changed. Blackout.
Blackout.
Okay, there it is.
Lunch with Dad.
I feel left out. That was a very long poem, and I only had a few lines.
Well, if we were able to do this with you walking around as the waitress,
it would have been more. Would have felt like more.
you would have felt like more. We would have been
Come in
you were
and
able to
serve
do
stuff.
more pantomime and things,
Okay.
and you would have come over to me and.
And there's 2 pages about you.
Okay,
all
that's
right.
fine.
Well, it could have. At least it's a beginning. It's a beginning for real theater.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And
Drama.
we've had a lot of fires out in California, haven't we? Wildfires. I don't think that they're too happy about the situation. They didn't have enough water.
Well, they don't have enough
I know.
water, and they don't have enough water. A large amount of the farmland in California is going to have to be unplanted this year. Michael?
There it is. One
That's
minute.
it. That's it. I told you it was a long play.
Oh, all right.
And you can't even play. We're
I
going to
can't
have to
even
sing
play.
a
I'm gonna have to
cappella.
sing it and wing it. Irene, good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. We'll see you in our dreams. I could hear the notes.
Good night, Irene.
Good night, everybody. Good night from the Fun Show. We won't be here next week due to Memorial Day, so tune in 2 weeks from now and see the next thrilling edition of the Fun Show on Big TV.
Scary.
Scary? Who, me?
How thrilling this show
Oh,
is.
well, thrilling.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we didn't even
We're
talk
where
ab-
everyone should be
Yeah.
right now.
We didn't talk about.
Anyway.